Folks, brace yourselves. We're about to dive into a story that is sending shockwaves through the political landscape. Remember 2020? Well, it looks like history might be repeating itself, but this time they're not even trying to hide it. From mysterious voting machine malfunctions to ballot irregularities popping up across key battleground states, the signs are everywhere. Is this the beginning of another election steal? Stay tuned as we unpack the evidence and expose the truth that they don't want you to see. Now, before we dive deeper into this election integrity bombshell, let's talk about something that's been stealing years off your appearance. I'm talking about collagen deficiency. After 20, your body produces 12% less collagen each decade. That's why I use the secret magic powder. It combines 5 critical collagen types for skin health, reducing wrinkles and promoting a youthful glow. And here's the kicker. It's 51% off right now at healthwithgary.com. It's linked below. Plus, you'll get free VIP health coaching, an ebook on foods for amazing skin, and a 60-day guarantee. Don't let time steal your youthful look. Fight back with healthwithgary.com. We thank our sponsors for keeping the show going and you for making your donations. And if you want to, the links are in the description. Let's jump right into it. Yes, a lot is happening, a lot to unpack in this report. Kamala getting very desperate right now, actually laughing about putting Donald Trump in jail. She is a sick person.
Because some people find it humorous what he says and think it's just silly, but understand how brutally serious it is. Well, the courts will take care of that. We'll take care of November. Yeah.
Do you hear that? Someone screamed in the audience, "Lock him up." And she said, "Of course, we will take care of that."
We'll take care of November. It is, well, the courts will take care of that. We'll take care of November. Yes. We'll take care of November.
Yeah, we'll take care of November. How are they going to take care of November? And she's laughing about locking up Donald Trump. These people have no shame. We got some breaking news out of Arizona. A lawsuit's been filed against Maricopa County to force them to document everything that happens with ballots, with ballots on before and after election night, and also to close a secret fraud loophole that allows election workers to change votes. It's an uncontested fact that Maricopa County did not maintain proper chain of custody in 2020 and 2022, and also violated the federal election records retention law. They even deleted certain data from the voting machines before handing them to the state Senate auditors. This lawsuit serves a greater purpose than thought at face value. By filing this, it invalidates the latches argument after the election because we have established and timely concern. And 2, if the county disputes the facts, then the onus is on them to make 0 mistakes, because if they do, a post-election lawsuit will be a slam dunk. The lawsuit also reveals that in 2022, Maricopa County conducted a practice where they took votes that had already been counted and retabulated them at their pleasure. Quote, because of this unlawful practice, it is entirely possible for Maricopa County employees to change the outcomes of elections by swapping out ballots to include votes for their preferred candidates and propositions for or against. Attorney Ryan L. Heath, he wants the court to issue an order compelling the county to run a legal and, more importantly, establishing that failure to follow the law will bring the validity of the election into question. So this is a huge deal coming out of Arizona. As you know, that was one of the big contested states in 2020. So this is very good news. Obviously, we do have to make it too big to rig. We all need to get out and vote for President Trump. Double and triple check your ballots. Very important election. Democrats are rigging. These are declarations made by MIA just 3 hours ago, overwhelming the votes for Trump. Vance, to overcome the steal, we can't depend on judicial help. As you know, what he's referring to is that so many courts just didn't even allow the question of the election to enter into the court, so no evidence could be revealed. So we have to make sure that there is just overwhelming amount. And we have some information later in the show that will present that overwhelming support is already pouring in for Trump. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Yesterday, the secretaries of state for Michigan, Georgia, and Pennsylvania each went on mainstream media. They said they won't have election results on election night, clearly coordinated. Why is it that these key battleground states are the only ones that can't seem to deliver results in a timely manner? It's blatantly obvious to anyone with a functioning brain that they are planning to steal the election just like they did in 2020. Let's take a look at what happened on Face the Nation.
How quickly do you expect to get results? Well, you know, in 2020, we had the results of our highest turnout election in Michigan history within 24 hours of the polls closing. The unofficial results were completed by 8 p.m. on Wednesday. So we're tracking that again this year. We do have more options to process ballots sooner than Election Day, which is where we were restricted in 2020. So I'm optimistic we could see results even sooner, but I would estimate end of the day on Wednesday as the best guess on how we'll perform. But that said, we will always prioritize accuracy and security over efficiency, understanding how much people will want those results. We're still going to make sure the process is secure and accurate before we put anything out to the public. But that said,
as I understand it, nearly all votes cast in this upcoming election will be recorded on paper. Last night,
absolutely, 100% will be. And
okay.
It's actually security paper with the state seal on it.
Okay, important point to establish, because yesterday President Trump said something that implies that because it can take time to tabulate votes, there might be something nefarious here. Take a listen.
Sure.
They spend all this money on machines, and then they announce, we expect to have the results like 7 days after the election. If you had paper ballots, you get them at 10 o'clock. France went to paper because what we did didn't work.
He's pointing to a lack of paper ballots as a problem here. Is he accurately describing what's happening, and how long will it take to tabulate votes?
In Georgia, 100% of all the votes cast will be on a paper ballot. But actually nationwide, it's going to be over 96 to 97% of all voting in America will be on paper ballots. But we also just put into law this year with SB 189 that all early votes and all early accepted ballots, they all will have to have their results reported by 8 p.m. That's 70, maybe even 75% of all the vote totals will be reported no later than 8 p.m. on election night.
Won't take 7 days to tabulate votes, as he said?
Absolutely not. What we will be waiting for is the overseas ballots that come in no later than Friday, and so those will then be the final numbers. And we'll just see if that makes the difference in the total vote totals. I understand we're very competitive, and that's why we've done everything.
Oh, hey, by the way, we're waiting on those overseas ballots. Yeah, there's a big shipment coming in. We're waiting for the dock workers to offload it and bring it on over. Yeah, how convenient is that?
Republican for
the message is what? Be patient with Pennsylvania?
The message is please be patient. Our counties are working night and day to count their voters' votes. They're doing so as quickly as they can and with integrity.
Our job is to make sure we are constantly just providing the truth to voters, to be a
For Secretary Schmidt, getting out the message can mean late nights answering questions about the electoral process in granular detail.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that really pans out. We've got some more news to break down for you here. The head of Fox News Decision Desk, Arnon Mishkin, foresees around a 4-day delay for the presidential election results. Fox News. 4 days, they're saying. And they're the ones that called Arizona like the minute the polls closed. That was a big, big problem. Remember that? I will never forget that. Michigan ballots won't be available until November 6th, according to the Michigan Secretary of State. That's who you saw earlier. Laura Trump, listen to this. She stated that of the 700 trained Republican poll watchers who applied in Detroit, only 50 were approved. However, 2,300 Democrats were accepted. I wonder why.
Apply. Look at a state like Michigan, a very important state, a state Donald Trump, of course, won in 2016. We are fighting tooth and nail to make sure Donald Trump wins in Michigan, and we believe if it's a free, fair, and transparent election, he will. I'll give you an example of the way the Democrats like to operate to try and sway an election. We had 700 trained poll workers from the Republican side apply in Wayne County to be poll workers. Do you know how many of those they actually took? 50. Guess how many Democrat poll workers they took? 2,300. So now we are filing a lawsuit in Detroit to make sure that we have parity between Republicans and Democrats. So
they're trying to get parity but those numbers are not equal. One of the best lawyers in Arizona just filed a very powerful election integrity lawsuit. We just covered that for you. Here we go. This was just a couple days ago. I bookmarked it. The voting machines in Dallas County, Texas, reportedly failed to pass their legally required logic and accuracy test, according to County GOP Chair Alan West. Georgia, Tennessee, and now Texas. Clearly, the steal is on. He asked the question, what have we been doing the past 4 years to prevent 2020 from happening again? Yeah, what have we been doing? Screaming from the rooftops. Statement from DCRP Chair Alan West. I would like to express deep gratitude to the State Senate Affairs Committee work of Senator Hughes, Parker, and Bob Hall for the additional equipment testing in Dallas County, counting on October 17th. Senators Parker and Hall were present for the testing, saw firsthand how the voting machine equipment is opaque and presents grave risks to Dallas County voters. In our Texas Constitutional Republic, we thank you for giving your time, attention, and concern. Oh, wow. It's opaque, not transparent. That is Senator Hughes. He's also, he was expressing gratitude to Senator Hughes. Senator Hughes is also the senator we're waiting to hear about the document dump that they received from Google and Alphabet about the algorithmic manipulation of search and on YouTube, and especially the demonetization of this channel for the last 22 months. So we're working with them to get that information out into the public square. We've also got this coming in. I posted this on just a couple days ago, announcing the steal is on. Election officials in Shelby County, Tennessee, are receiving numerous reports from voters claiming that the voting machines are flipping their selections.
Both on the ballot. Shelby County Election Commission member Venetia Kimbrough says several voters reported at least one incident at 10 to 12 precincts across the county. Representatives G.A. Hardaway and Antonio Parkinson, state lawmakers, both on the ballot and part of the Shelby County Democratic Caucus, say they received several calls from voters today. Here's a list of some of the voting sites provided to Action News 5 where voters said they had difficulty pressing one candidate. They said that their vote would change from the Democratic candidate to the Republican candidate. Now, Kimbrough says voters must press the name of the candidate and not the box next to the candidate's name. Remember, we're using these new touchscreens for the second time, but this is the largest election we're using them in, this new equipment.
Okay, so now they're flipping the votes from Democrats to Republicans. That's a new one. What else have we got for you here? We've got here, this is the Georgia election fraud. Kylie Jane Kramer. She announces Dominion voting machines. We are already seeing major issues with the machines across the Peach State as early voting is underway. Congressman Marjorie Taylor Greene confirmed there is an issue in her district with the machines flipping votes from Trump to Kamala. The voter chose Trump on the BMD ballot marking device, and then when the printed ballot came out of the tabletop printer before it was scanned to actually cast the ballot, the text showed they selected Kamala. After several attempts to fix it, they finally had to void out the ballot, use another machine, and start fresh. They were able to successfully select Trump, and it correctly showed on the printed ballot text. The ballot was then cast by scanning the printed ballot in the polling scanner tabulator. Okay, so if you're in one of those states where you do the whole touchscreen and it prints out something for you, double check it, look at it, review it, make sure your votes are there. Like in my state of Illinois, we have a machine where you do a dial and it moves the marker to the place where you want to vote, and then you press in the dial and it tacks the box, and then you see a piece of paper roll up on a transparent screen on the side where you can actually see the paper being printed up. You can't take the paper, but that's the paper record. And I've done this before. I take my phone in, I record the vote, I make sure that I record it, I take a picture of it, I record my entire process because I want to make sure that there are no irregularities, and I'm just personally recording it for myself, and I encourage you to do the exact same thing. In fact, I reached out to Charlie Kirk to see if we could work on a project together. Never heard back from him. Maybe he's just too busy to verify the vote. But if there was a If there's ever a need, this is the time. Pick up your phone, record your vote, and then post it. Post your vote, post the recording of your vote, the picture of your vote, post it on X, post it on YouTube, post it on Facebook. Make a digital record of your vote somewhere immediately following your casting of it, because we need to make sure. I know this, I mean, there's probably, only so many people are actually going to see this and activate this call to action, but it's just another safeguard. If there was ever a question that your vote needed to be checked, and you could say, this is my video of me doing it. I've got the video. Here's the link to it. So we need to make sure we document everything that happens. So we're already seeing this happen in Georgia. Votes being flipped in Georgia. And then this is really interesting too. We've got 500,000 more people are registered to vote in Michigan. Did you know that? More than those old enough to vote. Democrat officials say they're going to purge over 600,000 inactive voters after this election. Huh. Well, why can't you do it before the election? You can't press the delete, select all, delete. No, that's in Michigan. So there's 500,000 more people registered to vote than who are eligible. That is a huge blind spot and an opportunity for election fraud to take place. Who's going to go in there and cast those votes? Oh, but they haven't been purged. They're still on the voter rolls. Who has the master list? Are they putting that list out there to 500,000 illegals so that they can? Oh, my name is now John Smith. I'm in Michigan. I'm going to go vote. Very dangerous situation happening in Michigan. J.D. McLean states the election steal has started. We moved from Pima County, Arizona at the end of September. Listen to this account. The election steal has already started. We moved from Pima County, Arizona at the end of September, before early voting started, and registered to vote in Texas. Someone has since requested an early ballot and voted for my wife in Arizona. The Arizona steal is on. Think about that. They moved, and somebody requested their ballot and voted on their behalf. That is 100% illegal. Here's another video that just came out 17 hours ago. Here we go again. Georgia voting polls not being done in public. Residents being refused the ability to observe the polls. The resident says to the sheriff, the Georgia statute says the polls, setting up the polls and running the polls is supposed to be done in public. Let's watch.
Understanding is that according to the Georgia statute, the polls are supposed to be set up in public. As a member of the public, I'm supposed to be
open at 7 a.m. Yep. You can come in and vote like this gentleman here. He's here to vote. Other than that, the library opens at 10.
Yeah. Right, but
That's the only reason you'll have entry into this polling place is to vote.
Right, but the Georgia statutes say that the setting up of the polls and the running of the polls is supposed to be done in public, and therefore members of the public are supposed to be allowed to come in and observe and watch the setup of the polls.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm not in no hurry.
Oh, yeah, we're open at 7.
I learned to be a humble man.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
It wasn't easy, but I had to learn.
So your name is Mr. Smith?
M. Smith.
Sheriff Smith?
That's it.
Okay, and you're not allowing me to come in and observe? Is that correct?
You to come in and vote.
No, sir, I'm not here to vote. I'm here to observe.
You're not here to vote. The library opens at 10. End of conversation.
End of conversation.
Sir, so my understanding...
Nope, you're not allowed to go in. So there you have it, folks. The warning signs are flashing red from Georgia to Michigan, from Pennsylvania to Texas. We're seeing a coordinated effort to undermine the integrity of our elections. But here's the million-dollar question. What can we do about it? Are we powerless in the face of this apparent steal, or is there still time to safeguard our republic? Share your thoughts in the comments, and make sure you make this video 100% viral so everybody knows just what's happening. This is only the beginning. So how do you think we can protect the sanctity of our vote? In my opinion, record it. Get it out there. Publish it. That's my thoughts. What are yours? Drop a comment. We'll see you at the next report.